And one question, how do we check fleet power in this version? Asking for a friend.
You don't need to worry about that.
Before we begin this video, I would like to thank Paradox for this opportunity to try their new game, Stellaris NEXUS, which will be free to play on the 19th for the Steam Summerfest. I would also like to thank the other content creators that participated in making it. Take my word for it, if you like strategy or board games, this game is absolutely worth your time. Welcome to Stellaris NEXUS. In the wake of the death of the Teen civilization, it is up to us, randomized Empire, former vassals, to pick up the pieces. The prompt Turturn, the united Ixidar, the insidious Chino, the aggressive Kelazan, the erudite Vor, and the humans. No, not these humans, For despite being called the UNE, their gameplay and leader tells another story.
I can just click start, I don't even
Oh, we're going! Oh, I'm the Ixidar!
Oh no, I'm the
Get
Vor.
ready for the fun!
Oh no, you're...
Thus, here we are, simple humans in this uncaring void. Our goal is to become the Emperor and controlling Fenerbahce, also known as Nexus. The game is turn-based and in a rather chill yet dynamic board game style, except with all the good sides of video games and none of the bad sides from bad scheduling and not having access to a proper tutorial. You even have access to an undo button, which is quite huge. Anyway, Stellaris being quite heavy on the RPG side of things, by 4X standards it shines even brighter here. This, plus a card system, is excellent in my book. In this game, we need to score 100 points to win. As mentioned earlier, controlling Nexus is paramount, but it isn't the only way to do so. Other quests will show up, which will dictate how the game will go, as only one faction at a time may succeed in a quest. In this game I'm accompanied with Epitheo, Montu, Aspec, Sal, and Zest, who will call from now on Mantis Man.
I'm an angry mantis man.
Quick breakdown of our faction. True to ourselves, we humans are versatile, jack of all trades, master of none, but forget the master of none part, for we are a powerhouse of a faction. Overall, the factions are balanced, each has a key role they are rather good at. We, however, are good at everything. Our actions are dictated by edict card, each faction having extra copies according to their strengths. For instance, the prompt Turturn gets 2 extra construction edict, and we only get 1 extra, but also a politic edict. The politic edict itself being an expensive joker card, we can use it as any edict at a higher pop cost. Speaking of resources, there are 2 core resources, and a third one that can be used as either. Pops is your Stellaris equivalent of influence. Each action's cost pop, increased by the amount of previous action this turn. That also includes moving ships. The funny engineering icon is actually called materials. Materials are our mineral or alloy equivalent, and it is used for both fleet, construction, and science. Trade can be either, but it is trickier to obtain, and I will elaborate on that later. Here's for example our first turn. We used the construction edict, my capital, to increase materials, the explore edict to get some loot from neighboring systems, and we set for the closest planet with one of our fleet. As mentioned earlier, this costed a total of 1 plus 2 plus 3 pops, but it is necessary for our leaders to gain XP. Expanding on a neighboring system can be done in 3 manners. The most common is evasion. Ground forces are a myth in this game, instead you sacrifice fleet to invade.
Man, I got
Wait a
cybernetic
minute,
mandate.
the UNE has agent to one of your planets? What is this?
On top of the base edict, each faction gets a special edict based on its ruler. Ours is interesting, to say the least. Basically protects us from espionage attempt. So basically encryption? Police state? We achieve first contact with the Turturn. The Turturn is my favorite faction and is quite tricky to use. They can either punch you in the face very hard and very fast, or scale with an absurd amount of material income. Their own special edicts gives them plus 6 material for free, plus a ton of other little details that makes them unfair in turn 2 or turn 3 engagements. Now about fleet. As you might have noticed, we are starting with larger hulls. Again, post-overload, blah blah blah. Fleet battle is basically a sum game, weighted by research, edict, and the following rules. Destroyers, known as raiders, are effective against frigates. Cruisers, known as frigates, are effective against battleships. Battleships, known as battleships, are effective against destroyers. To this rock, paper, scissors, each rule also has their own abilities. Battleship hits hard, that's it, they're just very cost efficient at fighting. Frigates can attack from an adjacent system, which... wow! And destroyer can move an extra system per turn. The latter effect is what we used here. Because of the nebulae, some planets have some home fleet to dispatch before peacefully annexing them, and they may be hidden by nebulae. That is why I move both fleet onto the system while still having my destroyer pull their users elsewhere first. The other environmental hazard currently in the game is black hole, which obliterates 25% of your ships upon entering the system.
I just have a small problem though. There's a black hole between me and Nexus.
Ooh, that
Oh,
does
I
sound like a
hate it
you
when that
problem.
happens.
That's really annoying. Black.
Let's talk about advanced resources and planet type now. Each planet has its own type for construction edict. Populous is suitable for population income, Rich is suitable for material income. Advanced is suitable for science. It is also the type of Nexus. Industrious has better income of all the other planets at the cost of materials. The two advanced resources are actually cap, the naval capacity or ammunitions and science. And yeah, Unity is in the trash. Science being a cap is actually a genius move, as it highlights a mechanic often neglected in main game, technology tier. To make sense, you need to use the research elite, pay the resources, and respect the cap. Getting more science doesn't necessarily mean you research faster, it just allows earlier and juicier high-end technologies. Well then, the research edict and building must be OP then, right? Well, yes and no, because unlike Stellaris proper, there are other reliable methods of getting more science, namely the diplomacy and espionage options. The diplomacy edict is basically the trade option from Stellaris, but it also offers different pacts I will go over. The non-aggression pact is basically open borders, but it also ends hostilities in neutral systems, which is a thing in this game, something I wish was in the main one. +8 military pact for that sweet naval capacity, the research pact for +4 science, and a trade pact for monthly stockpile. These are not incompatible, but they will end the moment the empire you share them with declares war on you. You can even trade technologies with other empires. Diplomacy can get you science cap this way, but espionage can outright steal another empire's take. Espionage attempt can be supported by the Culture Edict, which basically puts a debuff on neutral rival systems, provided you are not at war with them. The Culture Edict is kind of an oddball, it sort of serves as a catch-up mechanic or a quest objective, but we won't be using them a lot this game. Both Diplo and Espionage are also the alternative way to control neutral planets. The last edict to go over is Trade, as it really only serves the Shino faction. Fortunately, I am neighbors with them. In order to work, both empires must send and answer the trade, with their own trade or Zidro edict, getting a considerable amount of resources, based on your pop material output. Finally, about Unity, I've been a bit disingenuous. It is still here in some way. Unity is instead your leader XP, which increases as you do actions. Each levels provides a choice between very strong bonuses. Here you can see the intended ethics for the UNE. Egalitarian decreases construction edict costs. Xenophile as it stands is super niche. It requires a lot of luck and coordination with Kenor, which I sort of had in this game but I still didn't commit to it. And Pacifist decrease our pop equip, which will be handy with so many planets. Truly, we can only bring eternal peace to this galaxy, so we picked that one.
What do you mean pretty aggressive?
I'm already level up. What is this kind of trickery?
Oh, you're not playing as the rocks? Yeah.
The rocks takes forever to level up, like, and I'm already level up. What is this?
Welcome to the real game. Oh, I'm at 3 points. Why am I at 3 points?
That ends the early game. The first console will set the first galactic conquest on top of controlling Nexus. As we know, the first League console will set the first galactic quest. As we now have a proper grasp of what we can do and how to do it, this game of intrigues and alliances can properly begin. Thank you guys for watching. I'll make sure to release the remaining footage on short notice.
Thou shalt perish between my pincers.